Hi everyone, it's Alyssa here at the Township of Washington Public Library. This month for our teen craft we are doing a paint-along. It is very, very cold and it's been snowy and icy, and I figured now's the last month that I want to do something snowy and icy themed. Next month I want to try to usher in some warmer vibes, some different vibes. But I figured for our paint along we would do a snowy snowman theme. So this is my painting right here. It's a snowman silhouette and a very blustery, snowy, starry kind of sky. And I'm going to show you how I did it. It's just a lot of playing around with layers and layers and layers and just having fun with it. I may even still fuss with this some more. I don't know when to stop. But anyway, your painting, you can do exactly what you would like. You can stop when you want, you can do as much as you'd want or as little. And you could do it in a different style than I did, but I'll show you what to do. So to get started, we need our brushes. We have a skinny brush like this. We have a thicker square brush, square-tipped brush like this. And then I didn't include in the kit, if you got a kit, but sometimes I like to fill in my background with one of these bigger sponges. But you can use the square brush, and sometimes the square brush works a little bit better to fill in the holes on the canvas. You'll see as I'm painting that square-ish kind of texture kind of comes through a little bit sometimes on these boards. And then we have some paint. We're going to make some different shades of blue out of the colors that we have. We have a dark, rich blue, black, and white. So that's all that we have today, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those and how to make our 3 different shades of blue. And of course, as you blend and blend and blend, you get all different shades within and in here. Okay, so let's get started and I'll show you what to do. All right, everyone, as you can see, the first thing that I'm doing is I am mixing my colors. We need our dark blue, which we have. We need a light blue with a lot of white and a medium blue. So mix your 3 colors, and as you can see, as I did, I chose my favorite playlist to listen to as I was going along, because for me, music and painting is the perfect zen, relaxing afternoon. Then I filled in my background. Once I did that, I grabbed my white, and this doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just trying to come up with a shape and location for my moon. So just toss that down onto the board. It doesn't matter. We're going to go over it later. Now I'm just starting to put in my swirls and my glowing stars, and I'm using my lightest blue, and again, I'm just sort of placing them down. The edges don't need to be perfect. The ends don't need to be perfect. I'm lightening up the center of my orbs. Those are eventually going to be white. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, so while things are still wet, I'm adding in the layers of colors and they'll start to blend together a little bit better. You can see I am just going white, light blue, white, light blue, white, light blue, and helping those all blend together. As they dry, I can go ahead and add in the white again in the places where I want it to be more of a stark white. That's not just yet. So I'm also now going in with the different shades of blue, the lighter blue and the darkest blue, and I'm adding some of these fine little lines and sort of just adding some texture. We'll eventually kind of blend and blend and blend and keep adding to it, but for right now I'm using my thinnest brush and adding in some lines of blending. So then we can go in with our light blue again and our dark blue and our light blue and our dark blue. Do you see the pattern here? And that's just what's helping us blend it all together. Again, in places where you want it to be less blended, let it dry, move on to a different area, and then come back and you can add some more defined streaks once things have dried. I am continuously going in with my different shades of blue. You can see now I'm adding in some of the medium blue a little bit too. And I'm going back into where my crescent moon was, and I'm just making that sort of similar to these little bright starbursts. I'm adding my medium blue right in the center. I'm rimming it with white and then some of the dark blue. And I'm going to continue to fuss with that as well. This needs to dry before I can draw on my crescent moon because I want that to be stark white. So in the meantime, I'm going back in and I'm now making my center of my swirls a more stark white, and I'm adding in some more dimension. Doing that again with my little bright spot for my crescent moon too. Swirl, 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 keep swirling, and just keep blending. As you can see, I'm going layer, 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 layer. And I'm starting to expand because I want to take up space. This medium blue that we've used for our background is really just going to be the background. By the time we're done with this, we are going to take up all of the space with our swirls, with our snow, and with our dimension and layers. Some of the spots have started to dry a little bit, so I'm going in and I'm adding some little lines. But because some of the spots have dried, I'm going to keep going back in with layers, just lots of different hits of layers, so I can blend some of the places. So you can see on the edges, it's really, really stark because there's no other paint. When I go in and I blend, I'm trying to work with pieces that are wet. You'll see, just go with it. Totally go with it. Don't be afraid to also add in some really thin drags of white. So to do this, you just really barely let the brush touch your board, and that's how I got some of those really thin squiggles of white in there. I'm going in with the medium blue. I made it just a touch darker, but not obviously as dark as our darkest blue, and I'm using that to kind of fill in the space. I'm following the shapes that I've already created, and I'm creating some new shapes. And then with that, while that is still wet, I'm trying to work kind of fast here and add in the dimension with very thin lines of the dark blue and very thin lines of the white. And while that's all drying, I'm going to go ahead and add my hill so I can see where my snowman is going to go and where else I still want to fill in with the starbursts and snow lines. And that's going to lead me to feel like I want to add some more, because I feel like that bottom corner is a little empty. That's okay. There it is. That's going to fill it up and add some more dimension, and I like it a lot better now. Fill in the canvas the way you want to fill in the canvas, with as much or as little as you would like. Now I'm going back in with the white and the medium blue to fill in my space. Now it's time for the snowman, making him nice and round. I don't need to worry about filling it in just yet. I want to make sure I like the shape that I have before I fill it in. And the next thing we have to do is the hat. Very daunting, but just create a little line. Make sure you create the brim too, so we can see he's wearing the hat. With the very tippy tip of my brush, I'm going to create just a thin line for the arms and the carrot of the nose. I'm going to let this dry as well before I add on the dimension to that. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to draw in my crescent moon. Again, very lightly, I'm barely touching my brush to the board so I can start to trace in the shape. And then as I fill it in, I can press down harder, but start with a very light touch. You can just let those tiny little bristles at the very end start at first. Alright, so now I'm filling in some more. You can see I'm not afraid to add in some white too. Think of these gusts of snow billowing through. That's what this all is. It's the starburst, and it gets darker as it moves away from this bright white star and the movement of snow, but there are some trails of white and magic coming through as well. Okay, my hill is dry, so it's now time to take my light blue. I'm not using white, I'm using light blue to add a little highlight to my snowman. This gives the snowman dimension, but it also shows that the snowman is existing in this world and also can be seen in the light, and the light is hitting the snowman. So I'm just doing the 3 balls for the snowman and the hat, and just a little bit on the nose of the carrot. I'm not doing any on the arms. I'm doing some on the hill as well, and I started at the point, the top of the hill where the light hits the most with the light blue, and then I went in with the medium blue underneath that, and that shows the levels of the shadows. I'm filling in any spots where there are some of the grid marks from the canvas showing through with the black so that it's full and complete. And now I'm taking the tip of my brush with some white, and I'm adding some more snowflakes. Just a little bit more dimension to make my painting feel complete. Add as many or as few as you would like. I'm also going back in and touching up whatever I would like to touch up now at this point, but sometimes you need to leave it alone and sometimes you need to keep going. Remember, if your paint is dry, just work in layers of wet paint to get it to blend, or if it's dry, you can add some more stark lines, whatever you would like. Okay, that's it, we're done. Put your brushes down. Don't put your brushes down if you don't want to. I want to put my brush down. I think I need to stop tinkering with it, but here it is. Here is the completed picture, the completed image. And I'm pretty happy with that. I really like how the hill and the snowman came out itself. And I just kind of like the snowy vibes that I get from this. I might blend these a little bit more. I thought I wanted a really stark white, but I might add a little bit more of the medium, not the medium blue, the lighter blue in here. I don't know. Art. It doesn't need to be this complicated, but I hope that you have fun with it, and I hope that you relax. Like I said, put on some tunes, put on one of your favorite movies, and let yourself relax and zone out. This is the perfect painting for that. All of these swirls, the mindless sort of brush strokes and blending where you're letting the wet paint and the brush do most of the work for you. So I hope that you can have some fun with this and let this be the last winter themed craft that we do together this year. And let's hope for some warmer days, but we'll enjoy the chilly, snowy days while they're here and enjoy some time inside relaxing. All right, everyone, I hope you will join me next month for our craft and for lots of other events after this. You can visit our website for more information about all of our programs and activities, or you could just stop by the library and say hi. All right, everyone, I'll see you soon. Bye.